back to Cowboys News TV. Today, we're diving deep into some unbelievable stats that prove the Dallas Cowboys defense has been completely transformed since the departure of Dan Quinn. Is it just a coincidence, or are we seeing the Cowboys defense crumble without his leadership? Well, let's break it all down, from shocking defensive stats to what's gone wrong under new defensive coordinator Mike Zimmer. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, make sure you subscribe to our channel and enable the notification bell. Your subscription is key to helping us grow and reach our goal of 12,000 subscribers. So if you love the Cowboys as much as we do, hit that subscribe button. Dan Quinn's impact on the Cowboys was nothing short of legendary. Joining the team in 2021, he completely revamped a defense that had been among the worst in the league. Under Quinn, the Cowboys turned into a top 10 defense, consistently among the best in points allowed for 3 straight seasons. And the biggest transformation? The ability to force turnovers. Before Quinn, Dallas couldn't seem to buy a takeaway. But once he stepped in, it was as if the defense had become a magnet for the football. It didn't take long for Quinn to become one of the hottest names in NFL coaching circles, but Jerry Jones made sure to back up the Brinks truck to keep him around for as long as possible. But despite Quinn's success, there was one area that consistently raised concerns: run defense. The Cowboys were often pushed around on the ground, and that weakness became a major talking point. Still, Quinn's defense always found ways to make up for those issues, especially when it came to turnovers and third down defense. So, let me ask you all, do you think the Cowboys defense will ever return to what it was under Dan Quinn, or is this the new reality? Let us know what you think in the comments, and while you're down there, smash that like button if you believe the Cowboys defense can turn things around. When Dan Quinn left to take the head coaching job with the Washington Commanders, Jerry Jones brought in a familiar face, Mike Zimmer. Cowboys fans know Zimmer well. He was the defensive coordinator back in 1995, the last time Dallas won a Super Bowl. The expectation was that Zimmer would shore up the Cowboys' run defense, an area where Quinn struggled. But what's happened since his arrival has been nothing short of disastrous. Instead of fixing the run defense, the Cowboys are now dead last in the NFL when it comes to stopping the run. Teams are gashing the Cowboys on the ground, and Zimmer hasn't been able to make up for that by excelling in other areas, like Quinn used to. Instead, they've fallen apart across the board. The stats don't lie. The Cowboys are ranked 30th in points allowed and 24th in yardage. And sure, it's easy to place all the blame on Zimmer, but the problems go well beyond him. Here's another question for you. Do you think Mike Zimmer is the right man for the job, or is it time for the Cowboys to make a change? Let's start a conversation in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to stay updated with the latest Cowboys news and analysis. As bad as the defense has been, the offense has been struggling too, especially in the run game. Heading into Week 7, the Cowboys are last in the league with only 463 rushing yards on the season. To make matters worse, they've only managed to score 2 rushing touchdowns. And it's not just the run game. The Cowboys' wide receivers are struggling to get open. According to recent stats, Dallas ranks as the worst team in the NFL when it comes to receiver separation. Even legendary Cowboys quarterback Troy Aikman has weighed in, criticizing the lack of separation and the poor pass protection. It's almost unbelievable that the Cowboys have somehow managed to head into the bye week at 3-3. But with so many glaring issues on both sides of the ball, it's hard to see them turning things around quickly. So, Cowboys Nation, what do you think is the bigger issue for this team, the defense or the offense? Cast your vote in the comments, and let's see which side is to blame for this 3-3 start. While you're at it, share your thoughts on how the Cowboys can turn it around after the bye week. The bye week couldn't come at a better time for the Cowboys. With a 3-3 record and so many issues to address, this is their chance to regroup and refocus for the second half of the season. But it's not going to be easy. The run defense needs to improve dramatically, the offensive line has to do a better job in pass protection, and the receivers need to find ways to get open. There's a lot of work to be done, and it's clear that if things don't change, this could be another disappointing season for the Cowboys. As we head into the second half of the season, the question remains, can Mike Zimmer turn things around for the Cowboys defense? It's not an easy fix. The run defense, which was supposed to improve under Zimmer's leadership, has only gotten worse. While the Cowboys were hoping for a return to the defensive prowess of the 1995 Super Bowl days, when Zimmer was the defensive coordinator, what we've seen on the field is far from that level of play. There's also the issue of depth on the defensive side of the ball. Injuries have played a role in the Cowboys' struggles, particularly in the pass rush. Without consistent pressure on opposing quarterbacks, the secondary has been exposed. And while Zimmer is known for his ability to develop defensive backs, this season hasn't shown any signs of that expertise translating into success on the field. But it's not all doom and gloom. The Cowboys do have talented players on defense, like Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs, and DeMarcus Lawrence. The key is finding a way to unlock their potential and return to the aggressive, ball-hawking defense we saw under Quinn. Here's another question for all you Cowboys fans out there. Do you believe Mike Zimmer can still turn things around for the defense, or is it time to consider a new approach? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's keep the conversation going. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our Cowboys breakdowns. As we mentioned earlier, the Cowboys are dead last in the league in rushing yards. This is a team that once prided itself on a powerful ground attack, with players like Ezekiel Elliott leading the way. But in 2024, that's been far from the case. The offensive line has struggled to create lanes, and the running backs haven't been able to break off big plays. Heading into Week 7, the Cowboys have just 2 rushing touchdowns. That's an incredibly low number for a team that wants to establish the run. What's even more alarming is that the Cowboys rank last in the NFL in terms of receiver separation. Opposing defenses are locking down the Cowboys' receivers, forcing Dak Prescott to make tough throws under pressure. Without consistent separation, it's hard to sustain drives or put points on the board. And speaking of pressure, the offensive line has been porous in pass protection as well. Dak Prescott has been under constant duress, which has led to some of his struggles this season. Even Troy Aikman, the Hall of Fame Cowboys quarterback, has weighed in, calling out the lack of separation and the offensive line's inability to protect Prescott. All right, Cowboys fans, it's time for another question. What do you think the Cowboys need to do to fix their offensive struggles? Is it a matter of improving the run game, or do they need to focus on pass protection and receiver play? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to cast your vote on which aspect of the offense you think is the biggest issue. One thing we can't overlook is the coaching staff. While players are ultimately the ones on the field, the game plan and preparation come from the coaches. And right now, there are serious questions about whether the coaching staff is putting the team in a position to succeed. Head coach Mike McCarthy has faced criticism, particularly for the team's lack of discipline and their inability to adjust in-game. McCarthy, known for his offensive mind, hasn't been able to get the Cowboys' offense clicking in 2024. And with the defense in disarray under Zimmer, it's hard not to wonder if changes need to be made in the coaching ranks. We all remember how Wade Phillips was let go mid-season back in 2010, and the Cowboys turned things around under Jason Garrett. Could we see a similar situation this season? There's already speculation about potential coaching replacements, and Jerry Jones isn't shy about making bold moves when the team is underperforming. Here's a big question for you. Do you think Jerry Jones will make a mid-season coaching change if the Cowboys continue to struggle? Let's get a debate going in the comments. And if you're enjoying this in-depth analysis, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to stay updated on all things Cowboys. Despite all the struggles, the Cowboys are sitting at 3-3 heading into the bye week. That's not a terrible place to be, but the road ahead isn't easy. The NFC is stacked with talented teams, and if Dallas wants to make a playoff run, they'll need to start putting things together quickly. The defense has to improve, especially against the run, and the offense needs to find its rhythm. Dak Prescott has shown flashes of brilliance, but he needs help from his offensive line and receiving core. If the Cowboys can fix their issues on both sides of the ball, there's still time to turn this season around. The bye week gives them a chance to reset and refocus. But the margin for error is shrinking. If they come out of the bye flat, we could be looking at a lost season. However, if they can get back on track, there's no reason why this team can't make a push for the playoffs. So, Cowboys Nation, here's the final question for today. Do you believe the Cowboys can still make a playoff run, or is it too late? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you're holding out hope for a Cowboys comeback. Before we wrap things up, I want to remind you all to subscribe to Cowboys News TV and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on our latest videos. We're so close to hitting our goal of 12,000 subscribers, and your support means the world to us. So if you love Cowboys content, make sure to join the community. That's it for today's video. We'll be keeping a close eye on the Cowboys as they head into the second half of the season, and we'll be here to break down all the action. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Cowboys!